Hi there, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Reagan. We're the co-founders of Vaer watches.
We're testing out something new. We love receiving customer reviews. It's one of the best parts of the business. We produce the watches and we're really excited to get them out there and get them on people's wrists. So in this video, we're going to take our top 5 favorite reviews from the month of May. We're just going to read them aloud and share our favorite parts of them and why we chose them. And each of these customers will get $100 in Vaer credit for a future purchase.
So picking these 5 reviews was a real challenge. We get hundreds of reviews every month, and to pick 5 of them is a really tough thing because really the overall quality is incredibly high. What we've tried to do is create some diversity in the reviews, not just in terms of different kind of viewpoints and styles, but also just the different products that are being reviewed. So we're not going to do 5 D5 reviews any given month. We're going to try and share things around.
So the first review is from Oscar A in the United Kingdom, and it's for a C3 Korean field. He says, "Firstly, I'd like to thank Ryan and Reagan on their first-class customer service and commitment to their customers. I was after a sturdy field watch and was initially looking at the khaki field 38mm, but particularly wanted a quartz movement for accuracy and more pick up and go. The quartz khaki had more of a sandblasted finish, which I wasn't keen on. Add that to the long lug to lug, I had to search elsewhere. Thankfully, I came across Vaer. The C3 Korean field immediately caught my eye, and after waiting for a restock, I managed to pick one up. Only 4 days delivery to the UK, and it comes very well presented. The silicone strap is great quality and perfect for the sea, while the bracelet fits very well with the quick release bars. A simple, clear dial that harks back to the original Korean field watches with domed sapphire crystal that has AR coating. Find that at this price point elsewhere. Initially, I was concerned the case would be too thin at 8.5mm, but the almost slab sides make it feel thicker. It's super comfortable too, and fits my 6.25-inch wrist perfectly. Brushing is superb and echoes exactly that on the bracelet, so seamless. This is my first Vaer, and it certainly won't be my last." Something that sticks out to me that I really like is he actually analyzes the watch in terms of sizing, his wrist size, and what specifically he likes about it dimensionally, and that really helps other people in their purchase process. I know I personally, when I'm shopping for goods, I look through reviews to find if there's other folks of the same size as me looking for the same things, and having that reference point from an actual customer is super useful. Another cool small point is, most of our orders are in the United States, but we do have a fair amount of international orders. We try to make it clear on site, but we do get people reaching out from time to time asking whether we ship abroad. The fact that he mentions he received his watch in 4 days to the UK is really cool. Again, it's just a testament to our fulfillment team and our warehousing team.
Yeah, the other thing I would add, it's always great to get shout outs, but we're not going to pick reviews just because they say that we're doing a good job. That's great, but it's not that important really. What is really cool though is also getting people in the mindset of his shopping experience. I think that's really helpful because there probably are a lot of people who are more familiar with brands, maybe like Hamilton, for example, and the khaki field is pretty synonymous and famous. So there's a lot of people who are probably in that shopping process for a new watch, and I'm sure there are a lot of people on the Vaer website who are also aware of the khaki. So it's great in this review to kind of point out some of the things that maybe he didn't like about the khaki field watch and why he gravitated towards the Vaer instead. And we love to see that, and I think other customers find that incredibly helpful when they're also making that decision on purchase. All right, next up we have Tim in the United States. Title of the review is Perfect Watch, so off to a good start. "I have worn the same Seiko Sports 100 watch since 1978, 43 years, and without a problem other than batteries. Recently, it started acting up and I found the parts were no longer available. I started looking at all kinds of watches when I came upon Vaer. They were the same simple, rugged design as the Seiko without all the bells and whistles. I watched them for several months trying to decide to make the leap. When I finally decided, I went to your website and this new design Navy watch was there. I fell for it instantly. Being a Navy veteran didn't help. I purchased it and was quite pleasantly amazed when I opened the box. The quality was exceptional. I went to my local jeweler to have the stainless steel band fitted. I believe I will wear this watch for the rest of my life. At 70 years old, I doubt I will make it another 42 years. Thank you for designing such a beautiful timepiece." Another awesome review. This one blends all sorts of things that we love to see in a review. it just like the last one, it has components of that shopping mindset and that experience, making mention of the Seiko and why he was initially attracted to Seiko in the first place, and then what drew him to Vaer. Ultimately, a review is a story, and this one tells like an incredible story. We get a really interesting insight into where Tim is at, and he wants a watch that's going to last him for the rest of his life. So hopefully, many years to come. But I think that's another thing that other customers like to see, and for us, it's exactly why we build watches in the first place. Not to last a couple months, a year, 2 years, but to last for decades. And this review really kind of reflects that vision.
Absolutely. And he's also a veteran. We have our military and frontlines discount for active duty service members and veterans. We love getting our watches in the hands of veterans. So that's just another really cool point about the review that he shares, and that he's proud enough of to want to share it within the review.
Awesome. So thanks again, Tim. You can look forward to your $100 store credit very shortly.
Thank you, Tim. All right, this review is from Brian C. Quality way above price point. The A12 V2 was far and above better than I expected. The size and overall dimensions are near perfect in my opinion. Well done, Team Vaer, on what I believe will become an icon. It is not a replica of the Dirty Dozen because it has Vaer's own designs, reflecting upon what I consider the best designed military watch of all time, implemented by the 12 watch companies chosen by the British Ministry of Defense. So this is a really cool review. It was actually one of the first reviews that came in on our new A12. Obviously, Reagan and I spend months and months, if not years, designing certain models, and the ultimate test is getting it into the hands of owners. So when we start to see positive, glowing reviews from owners, it's the ultimate sense of validation. These people paid their hard-earned money to buy our watches and receive those watches, and knowing that they really truly appreciate them means a lot to us.
Yeah, and I mean, all reviews are valuable, and all A12 Dirty Dozen reviews are valuable. What makes Brian's even more special is that he included a photo, which we absolutely love to see, and we can see he's a real collector. Not only does he have the Vaer throwback, he actually has the Timor re-release, which is a watch that I think a lot of people have compared and shopped against our A12. So the fact that he has that in his collection already, he also has that Smith's watch. Brian knows what he's talking about, and so that gives us confidence as owners and designers of the watch. But it also, I think, should give a lot of confidence to other people who are making that consideration of that purchase, especially when the A12 Dirty Dozen is more expensive. So the more types of reviews like this with images, with references to the wider collection, it's going to be incredibly helpful for all people who come after him in the purchase process.
All right, so this one is from Anonymous in the United States, and the title is The Wise Watch Choice. I'm a philosopher and I'm fascinated by time. The right watch can be a thing of beauty, a form of human design and art that's always with us. We may glance down for a practical reason to check the time, and then be delighted by the small spark of aesthetic joy that a great design can bring. I experience that all the time with my new Vaer watch. I don't even know my model number or name. It's the least expensive I could buy, and it's great beyond my expectations. I sold my first non-academic book after several university press creations, and I got a big advance from a major New York publisher, and bought a new house and a gold Hamilton Ventura, like Elvis wore, people said, and made me laugh. Then the next book surpassed the first, and I got a celebratory stainless steel Ebo Lachine automatic on a bright green croc strap. As my finances then surprisingly improved even more, I found myself with several beautiful JLCs, a Breguet, a Patek, a wild Gerald Genta, and a fun Van Cleef & Arpels, and lots of, Timex designs for fun. Then I read about Vaer, and the story was great. I was intrigued. The aesthetic values were all on the mark. Quality seemed very important to you guys, and the prices looked great. So, I needed another watch, but I couldn't help myself and bought one. And now it's become one of my most frequently worn timepieces. A faithful companion on most days. It's so well made, very accurate, and in a 36mm size, a treat to wear with the black rubber or silicone strap it came on. I admire excellence wherever I find it, and you do it all well. Thank you for making your customers like me so happy and on time. So wow, that is a lot to unpack. I actually was fortunate to speak with him, this owner, afterward, and I can validate everything he shares here is true as far as I could tell. It's pretty incredible. He really is a professional writer, so his writing style alone is pretty beautiful. The opening is pretty philosophical about the passing of time, so that in itself is simply entertaining. But beyond that, I mean, Reagan will probably touch on this as well, but the watch collection he lists is phenomenal. It's absolutely unbelievable. So the fact that our watch, and our most affordable watch at that, can bring him happiness and satisfaction is pretty incredible. I mean, one of the best things to hear is that somebody not only uses their watch to tell time, but it actually just makes them happy when they look down at their wrist.
Yeah, and just adding on to that, I think one of the things that we always try and communicate, because I think it's a big misconception in the watch world, is that, you know, the more money you spend on a watch, the more pleasure you're going to get from it, and the more you're going to enjoy it. And I think that can be true in some cases, but in many cases it's kind of an opposite or inverse relationship, and particularly for, say, the S3 Quartz, which is what this customer chose, is the fact that it's so affordable that it's, you know, compared to his other watches, just, you know, nothing to worry about, may actually encourage him to wear it more. And, you know, you can get it in any situation. You can go take it to the lake, go in the ocean, go on vacation, go gardening around the house, whatever it may be. This is not the type of watch you ever need to worry about. And then as you realize how fun it is to wear a watch that is completely carefree, fully water resistant, you start to wear it more and more and more, and all of a sudden it becomes your favorite watch. And whether or not this actually is going to be this customer's favorite watch in 5 years, we shall see. But it definitely sounds like it's off to a good start.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Anonymous, we'll be reaching out to you on the back end to send across that $100 of Vaer store credit.
All right, guys, and so for the last review, we have another A12 review. We chose to do 2 A12 reviews just because it is a brand new release, and we had so many great ones to choose from for the month of May. So this one comes from Donald. A12 Joy. It is quite wonderful. I find it to be as accurate as my Omega Constellation. It is a fine homage to the Dirty Dozen watches. When first opening the box and seeing the watch, I thought, oh no, it's too small. I soon realized that it was not. I had been wearing the Benris 3065, which is a bit smaller. The 7001 ETA movement is a very good movement, and I was surprised at how many high-end Swiss watches use the movement. The Fierce Brunswick uses the 7001 and costs quite a bit more. When thinking of the original Dirty Dozen watches and the men who wore them, it is quite humbling. I was in the Army from 1982 to 1985 as a truck driver in West Germany. I'm uncertain if I had the right stuff to be in combat. I hope to wear my A12 for years to come. So another great review, and similar to some of the other ones we've mentioned today, and it really just does tell a fantastic story. There's an awesome comparison with an ultra luxury watch, the Omega there, as well as a little bit more of an added context of where Donald's coming from his military experience, as well as kind of his interest in other watches, like specifically the Benris.
Yeah, he also touches on sizing, which we always appreciate. Something that happens often with the 36mm is it does seem too small when people receive it, but you put it on and you feel how comfortable that 36mm size is, and it really, really wears in nicely. Also, again, actually, we have a veteran, so we always appreciate that, and you know, we're thankful for his service and thankful that he took the time to share.
Cool. All right, guys, I think that wraps everything up. Those are our 5 favorite reviews from the month of May 2021. Of course, all of those reviewers will be getting their $100 store credit. For everyone who's purchased a watch in June and is yet to leave a review or is on the fence about doing it, we really encourage you guys to take a little bit of extra time. Don't need to write necessarily as long as some of these reviews you've seen today, but anything you can add about the purchase process or what was going through your mind about shopping for the Vaer, as well as, you know, your thoughts on opening the watch and wearing it for a couple weeks. We'd love to hear it, and I can definitely guarantee you that a lot of our, you know, potential owners and people who are shopping for Vaer right now would really appreciate to see it as well.
So as always, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. Reagan and I are constantly trying to work on new videos, new content. Also, please feel free to comment on this video. We love to engage and interact with our audience, so thank you so much.